I don't know if many of you would recognize this. This is what Chernobyl looked like right after it happened. It's the smoldering remains of a meltdown of unbelievable proportions, the biggest one in the world ever, hopefully the biggest one that will ever be. It spread entire clouds of fallout gas, or fallout radiation, all the way into Europe, every area except the Iberian Peninsula, actually. This is what it looks like today. This is reactor 4. Reactor 4 is the one that blew. A series of explosions on April 24th in the early morning hours at exactly 1:23 a.m. The core was exposed and released radioactive material into the atmosphere. There were 31 deaths that resulted. It's kind of a small death toll, really, but what we saw afterwards were birth defects, extreme mutations, genetic disorders, thyroid problems. The people of the area were very affected by this psychologically. They have feelings, even to this day, of fear and abandonment and hopelessness, lead to some social problems. As Russell said, this exclusion zone is a 3-kilometer or 30-kilometer square kilometer area right around the Chernobyl site. And in that area is the small village of Pripyat, which was the workers' village, which was built for them when the plant was built to house them. All the families lived there. There were 49,400 residents at the time of the disaster. And they weren't evacuated right away. This became of kind of particular interest to me. This is what it looks like today. It was kind of a feat of Soviet engineering. This triangular structure, was kind of something completely different. They had commerce, they had entertainment. It was a thriving little zone, And look at it now. It's completely empty. There isn't anyone there. And like I said, they weren't evacuated right away. The disaster took place at 1:23 in the morning on April 24th, April 26th in 1984, and they actually were not removed until 2 p.m. the next day on the 27th. They were there for 36 hours, among all the other, the workers that were actually at the plant doing the debris, trying to clean it up and get people out, and they finally evacuated them on trains. And what was really strange is that this was done secretly. This wasn't done with the knowledge of the rest of the world. I don't know if anybody remembered, but Sweden is the country that actually detected the radioactive particles coming across from the Soviet Union on April 28th. So right here together was all this secrecy and then sudden reveal of what had happened. And I love this image. This is a sort of a common image of the disaster. The amusement park was set to open on May 1st, so 5 days from the disaster, and never opened. This is like the town of Pripyat now. Obviously, like you can clearly see that people just kind of left. They were told, we're going to be gone for 3 days. There's been a little accident at the plant. We got to get you out of here for 3 days. You'll be back. Leave your stuff, leave your pets. Don't worry, you'll be back soon. They won't be back for 60 to 200 years, depending on what we're able to do, what they're able to do with the area until then. But I really love these images because they show exactly what happened on that day. The people left their things, they left their clothing, and their pets, which is kind of, for me, the really hard thing to take. But what I like to think about is the atom is a natural thing, it's the nature's building block, right? But as soon as we try to manipulate it, we're in dangerous water. So all this construct, this life that they had built in this sweet little town was really fragile. And it's hard to look at sometimes. But I became inspired to kind of figure out this, learn about Chernobyl and Pripyat, because I don't know if for you guys, but it was very mysterious to me, like a nuclear meltdown. That was very mysterious, so I wanted to learn about it after I saw this reading of a play, Dogs of Pripyat, at Center Stage, and it's a wonderful play. It really humanized the story of the animals. She kind of told the human story from their perspective. And they were betrayed, and they were left, and they were abandoned. And here's one now. They've become obviously feral. They travel in packs. They do a lot of hunting. The whole area, actually, 500 square kilometers around Chernobyl, has been converted into a wildlife preserve because so many rare species are reemerging. The absence of man has absolutely caused, you know, the Eurasian bear or bison, oh gosh, I can't even think of their names, but so many species that haven't been seen for centuries are now reappearing here. And the dogs are remarkable. They behave like wolves. They hunt in packs, yet they'll approach you. They're slightly domesticated, even though they're not the first generation animals. And Leah Napolin, who wrote Dogs of Pripyat, had some encounters. You know, in Chernobyl, she went into the restricted areas. You can get through. There's kind of like 3 layers you have to drill down onto, but you can get in there and look around. I love these silhouettes. They were kind of graffitoed by a Belarusian group with the aid of their tour guide. They had this idea that they were going to stencil silhouettes on the buildings of people engaging in daily activities, and it's a bit haunting. I love the images, but at the same time, it just again shows that it looks like a movie set. It doesn't look real, you know. When I look at these images, and these little shadows kind of playing around in there, at once haunting and exhilarating, I guess, because it does give life to the otherwise like really desolate scene. What they're doing in Pripyat now and what they're doing in Chernobyl now is just trying to figure out how to keep that sarcophagus that we saw in the beginning contained, because it's really not safe there still. It's really not safe. And the kind of, I see this little girl as kind of the shadow of what was there. So, thank you. It's a little bit deep.